So, you know, back.
Don't kick my dog.
Don't piss on my leg.
Somebody who will kick a tiny little cute, sweet dog like that will do other things and probably has done other things. Do your dogs have any constitutional rights? Or do we have any constitutional rights for the protection of our dogs from cops? This disturbing footage was submitted by Ronaldo. This comes to us from the Calcasieu.
The Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office is
Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Department in Louisiana. He wrote that 2 cops showed up at my apartment and claimed that I had backed into their patrol vehicle. Before they told me why they were there, one of them kicked my 13-pound dog because he snuck out and started to pee on the cop's leg.
So, you know, back.
Don't kick my dog.
Don't piss on my leg. Now look.
But it gets worse. He also said this: I have autism and generalized anxiety, and him kicking my dog frightened me, so I told him what I thought he wanted to hear and admitted to something I don't think I actually did. And so they arrested him, took him right out of his residence, from what I can tell, with no arrest warrant at all. He said that he called to complain about it, but nobody at the sheriff's department even called him back about the matter. He said probably nothing can be done about it, but he just wants to spread awareness. First of all, as I've had to explain far too often recently, according to the 1980 Supreme Court opinion in Payton versus New York, in order for the police to legally arrest somebody at their home rather than in a public place, if there's no exigent circumstances or consent, police officers must have a warrant. So here, for these officers to legally arrest this man, if they didn't have a warrant, it was unconstitutional, unless there are exigent circumstances, which I see none, or valid consent, which must be voluntary. Showing up to your door and kicking your dog doesn't really qualify. So shame on you, Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office or Sheriff's Department, whatever it's called. So I get this question a lot. Do your dogs have any constitutional rights? Or do we have any constitutional rights for the protection of our dogs from cops? Well, it was only about 9 days ago that I posted the video of the 10-pound Shih Tzu named Teddy being executed by a police officer in Sturgeon, I think it was Missouri.
Come on, baby. There you go. There you go. That's not how you handle a situation. If a dog is a threat to a person and harms a person or shows immediate threat, that's when you use force. There is many other tactics. You want to talk or you want to tell me how to do the job?
But since I put up that video and it went viral elsewhere, the mayor there in Sturgeon had resigned. And then the new mayor suspended the cop who executed Teddy. And it was just in a Washington Post 2 days ago. Police officer shot a blind pet dog. This small town wants justice. Well, good. Remember when I told you that was the way to do it? The mayor there initially defended the cop, and they tried to claim that there was some concern about rabies that just didn't hold up to the actual body cam footage. Some residents, including those who describe themselves as pro-police, have gone as far as calling for the dismantling of their 2-officer law enforcement agency. I think you get this entire problem solved with the police department, you shut it down, one man said to Applause during a contentious city alderman meeting this week. But as outrage has steadily grown in and beyond Sturgeon, the city has declined to dismiss the officer despite his actions appearing to go against city code. petition only had a couple thousand signatures when I first mentioned it. There is now a petition with over 3,000 signatures demanding that the city remove Officer Myron Woodson for what he did to Teddy. So if you're upset about this, I will post a link to the petition. Sign the petition. Again, it's got already over 3,000 signatures. If you watch that footage and you're not outraged, then you're part of the problem. Now it has 54,000 signatures. Also, a federal lawsuit has now been filed. Let's keep up the pressure in Sturgeon, Missouri. And there are plenty of videos of police shooting dogs, but when it's a real tiny dog or a blind and deaf dog or even a puppy, these are the most egregious ones. And I did do a video once on a police officer shooting a vicious-looking puppy. This was from, and I'm being sarcastic there, this is from the Loveland Police Department. This was just a 14-month-old dog, and they killed the dog.
Get back to the truck!
He just made my baby! Why did you have to shoot him? He's fine, he's a puppy!
Get to your truck! I didn't know that!
He's a puppy! Can I see him?
Get to the truck!
Please let me see him! Please, oh my god, let me see him! I can't believe you fucking shot him!
Get in the truck!
Oh my god, please, let me see him! He's
Ma'am,
dying.
just get back to your truck.
If he's dying, let me see him! He's dying!
Okay, okay.
Oh my god, can I call a vet?
Ma'am, ma'am, get away! He will bite you, he's hurt. He will bite you, he's hurt.
You killed him!
He will bite you, he's hurt.
Jay!
Sir, tell her to get away. He will bite her, he's hurt.
And now back to the question of whether or not we have any constitutional rights pertaining to our pets. We all know that the Fourth Amendment protects us against unreasonable searches and seizures. That could apply to us as persons, or that could apply to our property, including our effects. So as an initial matter, it's well settled under federal case law that privately owned dogs are effects under the Fourth Amendment, and that the shooting and killing of such a dog by the police constitutes a seizure. So it's a different legal standard than your usual police shooting case. It's similar though. It's an overall reasonableness standard, recognizing that police can lawfully shoot dogs where officer safety justifies that decision. So the key is a legitimate claim to officer safety. The question is whether at the time the officer shot the dog, whether he had a reasonable belief that the dog posed a threat to himself or to others. If the facts are sufficient to show that the officer's belief was unreasonable, that the dog was not a threat, then the law is clearly established in most circuits, including mine, the Fourth Circuit, that shooting a dog under those circumstances would constitute an unreasonable and therefore illegal seizure of our property under the Fourth Amendment. That's not a great way of looking at the value of our dogs, of man's best friend, but that's the actual legal analysis that has been used in these cases. Fortunately, in this particular submission, the dog wasn't killed. He was just kicked. He was just hurt. So is there anything that can be done about that? Well, I think he's probably right that it doesn't rise to the level of making it, at least not financially, worth it to file a civil lawsuit over, which can be very expensive. But it's something that should be taken seriously by the public. The public should complain to that sheriff's department, and there should be discipline for this. Somebody who will kick a tiny little cute, sweet dog like that will do other things, and probably has done other things. This is one of those situations where the police who claim to police their own need to police their own. Now, just theoretically speaking, if a police officer took the rare course of action of not shooting a dog and just wanted to beat it up, perhaps the damage would reach a level to where you could make a case that although he didn't kill the dog, it still damaged your effects, damaged your property, which is, again, an awful way to look at it, but that's the legal structure that we have to work in. Here, again, it's not going to rise to that level, but let's not let it rise to that level, because let's do something about this police officer who did that. And also, what is their excuse? What is their explanation for arresting this autistic man at his house without a warrant? Because he damaged a police cruiser, allegedly. Okay, if you have probable cause to believe that he damaged a police cruiser, go get a warrant. And if that probable cause consists of an admission that he allegedly made at his door during a consensual knock and talk, the remedy is to go get a warrant, come back with a warrant, and arrest him. That's what the Constitution requires. You can't just grab him from his door and put him in handcuffs, put him in the police car, because now you have violated the Constitution that you have sworn an oath to protect. But you don't, because police officers violate that oath all over the country every day. And we only know about it when it's caught on video. So spread the video, spread the footage, make your support for the Constitution known to your elected public servants. They don't even care about lawsuits. They care about negative publicity. If you have a video you want me to review, please use the submission link below. You can follow me on Twitter or follow me on X at JohnBryanESQ, especially if you like unrelated history stuff. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Just because you're afraid of a little dog doesn't mean that you get to kick or kill our little dog. Freedom is scary. Deal with it. Or go do something else.